I wanted to talk about basically being some who I am. Basically, was a filmmaker first, in a way. Also, someone who I am was I wanted to gather information when I first was around this culture, and I wanted to talk about things that with my wife's classroom about some of the cultures that were going on here when I really started. Ended up doing different things and immersing myself into the culture, and I found out how important it is to do that, to immerse yourself into the authenticity, into the culture itself. What's important to show is that if you're entering a culture that's not yours, you do it with humility, you do it with respect, building up that trust that you're going to tell a story that they want to tell, or that they're telling, and not what you're going to re-narrate for. At least that's what I decided to do. But most importantly, I believe that some of the stuff that I'm showing here is because when you make a film out here and you make a project or something or a book or anything, it's like forever, and it goes along with the reputation too of yourself. Whereas in bird singing, the way it goes on in the culture itself, in my opinion, is it evolves, and some of the people and some of the words that were once spoken aren't being listened to anymore, perhaps because that person isn't around, or that way of providing that type of environment where there's more knowledge and less just singing would be available. And so that's why sometimes I shoot off my, have my opinion, is because I remember what they would say and what's being done today. We to document a living culture, not a lost one, with responsibility and restraint that you're not going to do something on your own because you have an idea, but to just put it the way they wanted to put it down, the way they wanted to say it. Like I said, within the tribe, the knowledge moves. It moves with the time. Some people are here, and then they're not here no more. In a way, that's the natural rhythm of the indigenous people out here. Is that how it happens? But it still remains the same as far as the words, as far as the way it's practiced. It still remains the same, and it always has, or we would say thousands of years. Revolving or moving knowledge is the natural rhythm of the tribe, the natural rhythm of the indigenous people out here. And that's the way the living culture sustains itself. It doesn't need to be permanent because it already is. With the filmmaking, it's different when making a project like this, because what you put down is permanent. Making decisions about what the world gets to see and what it doesn't, it creates permanence. It creates a permanence that carries weight and that carries responsibility. It follows you. So it's a big weight to carry out on your shoulders all the time. The thing I want to communicate sometimes is when somebody with some Native American people, some indigenous people that are tribal and want to do something out there, they want to go ahead and make a movie, make a project, do something that's across, say, reservation lines like I did myself, or just like anything, and you're going to come back with that project to your tribe, how it's received. It's not what you think. Like I said, it ain't the same as it is out here than it is in there, because the expectation is different. Out here, a lot of things are fascinating to people that don't even know. A lot of people that I've met during the project can actually write a PhD of what they actually know and actually be a doctorate. I mean, I'm serious about some of the information just on what we gathered for the movie itself could be a doctor. Somebody a PhD would write, and I'm serious, it could be. And a lot of you people that I was talking to have, included, Catherine was one of them. Some people like say Boy. A lot of the head singers have that kind of mindset where they're like PhD minded because they have to keep all this stuff into their heads. It's not like they're anthropologists. I'm not going to say that's really bad, but it's just the way that they organize their information, the way they keep it, and the way that they're talking about it is how you see it yourself. Because they have to do a multitask of different things and remain the same at the same time. That's hard. It's difficult to do. So when you have all that and you have people returning back, have some respect for the people that are trying to give you what they found or what they're doing. They're not trying to replace everybody or trying to end up be all native of all time or anything. I just believe that they're trying to give back. So give them a chance to give back. I know when I did, and I see the results of giving it back and how people are while bursting today. I'm not saying I had anything to do with it. I'm not saying anyone had to do with it. I'm just seeing the people that are proud of what they do. And now they could do their own projects just like I have. And that's what I always wanted in the beginning. Not to interfere or not to do anything like that. So that was my intent. And it's always been that way. Have a good day.